Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Scrapper that delivers showed up last night after dark. He beat a thunderstorm, but it rained overnight, so all this junk is wet. I ended up getting 3 mowers for 45 and some various junk along with it. I'll explain. I got some gas cans and 2 bags. I end up giving the gas cans away. If somebody says they're from Wisconsin, they just moved here, they don't have a can, I give them a can. I buy these kits that have the fillers and the caps and all that jazz. So a lot of these that the scrapper picks up, the spouts are missing. I get kits. And so we'll discuss this pile of mess here for a second. What we have to discuss is this burn unit. This is a 2013. Didn't know the model number. It's a Troy-Bilt. I ran the model number and discovered it was a 2013. And I'll give you the model number. It's 11 Alpha dash Alpha 230711711. So as you can see, this thing was on fire at one point. It's got the automatic choke. You can see the linkage here. Plastic melted into a big blob. So I said, holy cow, to the scrapper. I said, I wonder how that happened. He thought, well, maybe the cap shook loose and gas poured out, but the muffler's over here and it's not burnt at all. Maybe it backfired and caught on fire. I've never seen one this bad. When I first started messing with mowers, I had a burnt one, but it just had burnt the air filter backing plate a little bit. It didn't catch on fire. So they put this thing out with sand. See all that sand there mixed up with seashells, broken seashells. That's what you'll get in Florida. Florida was underwater at one point. You can look at the ground and there'll be seashells all over the place. So you can see here where this was on fire, burnt this whole big piece of plastic, and they threw sand at it. The sand actually stuck to the melted plastic here. And it looks like they threw a shitload of it up here to put out the fire. Threw some in here and it melted to the plastic. So scrapper was at the scrap yard and he saw another machine and he was thinking ahead. He pulled off all the plastics for it for me, a whole nother carb, but this is a priming carb, another tank, another recoil, priming cover. He got me a coil, all the other jazz. This actually came off of a Murray 21 550EX. This recoil, all the hardware. So he said he had to pay the scrap yard for this. He got me another gas tank. I think that's a Tecumseh and another side chute. So I don't know if we can do anything with this since it's burnt so bad. I've got my DeWalt here. Let's try to take this off, but it looks like it's all melted into one piece. I don't know if I can get this glob out of it. Melted the safety brake cable. So if we get the plastics off, I'm wondering if we could still salvage the engine, or did it get hot enough to melt the head gasket maybe? A lot of mystery with this 2013. So let's try zipping off the recoil. deck is fine, and I got the bag with it. So, I mean, we're working with something here. So for $10, I would still be happy with the deck alone. I throw another engine on it and sell it. But let's try to salvage the engine with the nice pile of crap he stole. No, he didn't steal it. He said he had to buy that stuff. He says you don't walk out of the scrapyard without paying. So okay, this one here is not coming out. There, it just did. So let me try tugging on this. Oh yeah, it's all melted into one piece. I'm just gonna have to brute force it because there's nothing here savable. Okay. Wow. Just broke the plastic. Oh, I just pulled out the whole recoil here popped off. So we got a bee's nest. They had a hut experience. Some wasp. So what's happening is all that sand is running past the coil and grinding. I got to just take a hose and get rid of this sand and just try to break all this plastic off. I think I can do it actually. I'll need another safety brake cable. How's the oil? Oil looks fresh and it's at the right mark. So I don't know, what do you think? If I'm gentle, I could probably save the automatic choke linkage here without bending that up too much. The plug looks brand new. New plug. So this is a mystery on this 2013. So that's basically all I can show you with this. I could get rid of the auto choke setup on this and just go with push and prime, since I have everything to do it with. Take off the automatic choke and the linkage and use that somewhere else. So what kind of okay, just looking at the coil here, the recoil, if I just change the cup out to the square style, I can use this recoil here for the Murray. Okay, let's keep moving. We got a three-legged dog on this one. This one here is a Crafty. The engine ID says it's a 2007 07 on this. And looks like some work's been done to it. Somebody's put another carb on it, a Briggs & Stratton carburetor. It's got the OEM stamp on it, so they spent some money on that. Looks like a new backing plate, new priming bulb, no spark plug in this. So we could take a fuel sample, see what the deal is with this '07. Let me get my spectacles on so I can start reading some numbers. The engine number on this is 122 Tango 02-38 24-Bravo 2 0708 2058. So the 8th month, 20th day of 2007 on this Crafty. Let's take a fuel sample, see if it primes. Why did they have the plug out? The Craftsman model is 917-388-109. So I just have a pickle jar here with my turkey baster from Dollar Tree. Let's take a sample of this. Sample looks good as far as what I could get here up in the corner. It's straight fuel. Smells very fresh. Combination of pickle and gasoline. I can't think of a better combination. We got a little split in the tank here, right here, so that's a concern. I don't think it's leaking because it's right at the very top. But this looks like it's been outside and a little dry rotted. So I'm going to prime it. Okay, it's not burping up fuel. And I notice one of the 3 bolts here on the backing plate's missing. So it looks like somebody tried to do something with this, maybe gave up. That's a lot of oil. I'm gonna wipe this thing down. Holy cow. That's not good. Okay, we're still way over on this. So since it's not priming, I'm gonna happy juice it after I put a plug in. I know I have a good plug. I'm gonna throw an NGK plug in it, the Bravo Romeo 2-Lima Mike, just to see if this thing fires off. Probably that missing wheel, the 3-legged dog, was what ultimately did this thing in, but maybe it had engine issues as well. Okay, I gotta happy juice it with some carb clean. Since we're not priming, we've got to get something flammable into the intake in order for it to fire off. Okay, I got a clip on the safety brake bar. So it fired off. It feels a little rattly. I heard some rattling. Let me turn it over. I'm going to pull the plug wire. I'm going to move the blade and listen for any connecting rod issue. Oh, what blade? This thing is toasted. That's toasted. This thing's seen Seen a lot. Might be original blade. Let me listen for any banging or knocking. We might be pouring out oil since it was overfilled. I didn't, no, we're pouring out a little gas. I didn't see anything overly suspicious. Maybe I didn't tighten that down. We had some gas weeping. So I got to look into this further. Somebody just gave up, stole the plug maybe for another project. This 2007 seen better days on the standard crafty pusher. Let's move over to this last turd. This happens to be a 2007 according to the EPA emissions control information. That's how I read these Hondas. GCV 160. Oh, lo and behold, we got a little zippy tie action here. Oh, wow. So that's rusted through right there. So deck integrity right away is going to be a concern. Rust throughout here. They took some rust holes and just put some zippy ties through it. And it looks like it's cracked right there. That wheel is worn out. This one's got tread. Let me just give it a handle bounce. Yeah, this thing's jumping like a jackrabbit. Right to the pavement here. Let me put this on the highest position. Yeah, right there on number 6. That gave us some better clearance. So we should look at gas. There's no gas. Check oil. So this thing might have a running engine and they just got concerned with the zippy ties breaking and causing damage. So on these Hondas, wipe your dipstick and just let it sit there on the threads. Don't screw it in. Then take your reading. So we got enough to try to start it. I mean, it doesn't look overly used. The 2017, we could use the transmission, all the plastics, air filter. Cockroach damage, they ate the paper. This thing's been sitting a long time. That's a lot of damage. Cockroach turds up in here. And mold. Fungus and mold. So this thing's been in some wet area. Sitting a while. So what do you think we should do? Put a little gas in the tank? Why don't we do that? No, I say we happy juice it. That way we don't waste gas. If it fires off, I'll put a little in the tank. But I'm guessing it's deck integrity is this Troy-Bilt's main concern or problem. Okay, so we may have a good Honda engine, which I can always use. Okay, double shot of that juice. Let's pull on it. I can smell the carb cleaner, and it is puffing. So that was a surprise. That was a surprise. It started. After a few pulls, we've got action on this wheel, nothing over here. So are the gears on that plastic wheel stripped out. This one here engaged, not that one. So that would be something to look at. I didn't have to add fuel. There must have been some fuel left in the bowl. It ran until I shut it off. So this engine's going to be a good one. The 2017 Honda, I can use that on another project. Maybe just do a carb clean to be sure. Make sure there's no water or any debris in the bowl. So yeah, for 10 each, I'm happy. $10 on this with some parts. This thing's a basket case with a new carb, $10. And the Fire Marshal Frank's Troy-Bilt here. I think we can maybe do something with this. I think. So this is going to be a task. I'll just have to start breaking away the plastic from the metal. Kind of use brute force like I did to get the recoil off. Broke the plastic in this area and right here. So what do you think of this this machine? Clever whoever used sand. They used what they had available, and it seemed to work. You guys ever have one of these plastic engines catch on fire or work on one that's been toasted? This one's severely burnt up. I'm going to take the plug out, new plug, which has nothing to do with the fire. I don't know if they tuned it up first and then it caught on fire. I think I got the right size socket here. I don't think it's the right plug, however. It should be the RC12YC or equivalent. They've got a smaller quantum style plug on here. Yeah, they do. Holy cow. Look at all that carbon buildup, which is strange. So is it sand that got pulled into the cylinder when they were trying to put the fire out? All that sand got sucked in before it snuffed itself out. Huh. Let me take my blow gun and get rid of this here. So it looks like the same plug that was on the Quantum style, a NGK Bravo Romeo 2 Lima Mike. I think that's what we just used on the three-legged Crafty. So if I had a working recoil, I would just bypass all this burnt up stuff, direct inject, and see if it would fire off. Maybe put a clamp on the safety brake linkage there to get that to work. But it's going to take a little work to get it to that point. Anyway, we'll do a follow-up on this one. I think it can be salvaged with this scrapyard pick and pull, I guess you would say. All this stuff can be moved over. He gave me a coil which would work, but I think this one here is salvageable. I don't see any burn marks on the wire. Yeah, we're good on the coil. I could reuse this one. I just got to get the sand out of here. That's what that grinding is. The sand up here on the flywheel is just grinding against the coil. I'm going to... Oh, wow. I just saw this. Yeah, this thing must have been running. Look at all the sand in the here. There's a shitload of sand built up. So what happened is, you can see it right there. What happened is this thing was running. Whoever was running it threw sand up here. Sand got pulled into the spinning flywheel and just made a home right here on top of it. So they must have threw a couple of big handfuls in here and it just settled down. But they did a good job. This thing must have been on fire for a minute or two to melt it this bad. They didn't extinguish it in 5 seconds. This thing was up and running. When I mean up and running, I mean the flames were up and running. Okay. Enough of this Troy-Bilt. I'm going to grab some tools and start dissecting this thing. I'll let you know what I come up with. Maybe mid-pace, I'll grab you guys out of bed and we'll see what the progress is on this machine. The 2013 model number 11 Alpha 2300711. If you need a Slurpee, run in there and get your favorite refreshment, 7-Eleven. As always, tip your waitress and wait staff if you're at a sit-down restaurant. That would be awesome. Continue to have a good day. Thanks for coming out. Let me know what you think. The 3 cruddy units that I picked up last night for $45. Have a good day.